Longest straight, 701 metres. We've had 3 big races already today. The Underbone 150cc, the AP250s on the Supersport 600s, all of which were decided in the last lap. And now we're on to the Suzuki Asia Challenge, where all the riders are riding identical bikes. Harmy, the Suzuki Asia Challenge made its debut last year on the Asia Road Racing Championship with some success, so much so that 5 of the competitors have come back for a second go.
Yes, last year we have Jeffrey Tosima from Indonesia was the winner, and April King Mascardo is second year, as you said, one of the 5 riders again this year racing in this series from the Philippines. April King Mascardo to be on pole position as an experienced rider in this category, of course. And then Ahmad Saugi Mukhtar from Indonesia, second on the grid. And to complete the front row is Ian J. at Sobritodo from the Philippines. Again, one of the riders retained in the championship.
The championship, the Suzuki Asia Challenge, is a genuine Asia-wide challenge. We have riders from Nepal, from Malaysia, from Thailand, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Australia, India, and the Philippines, as you've mentioned. And riders do develop from here. They do move on, but they've got to make the most of their opportunities, because this is a full season in the full glare of their Suzuki mentors and sponsors.
Yes, of course. Last year they're using the Suzuki Satria F150, the underbone bike, but this year they're using a super bike, the GSX R150. So this another change from what they had last year. This bike is a little bit faster, heavier than the last year's bike, as we can see in the testing time here in the Pasir Gudang a couple of weeks ago, where they are 2 seconds faster than the time that the riders did last year with the bike.
We've just gone through the second row, where we have Punchana from Thailand, Indonesia's Jeppe Armantia, and Aaron Gunawadina, who is again a survivor, one of the 5 survivors from last season's events. Third row will be Noor Al Fath Sam Ahmed from Indonesia, Prabhu from India, and KY Ahmed, also from India. It is a very, very Asia-wide challenge. As you can see, the rain has started to come. It stayed away from the big races, but this will have a major impact on the riders.
Yeah, 16 riders from 9 countries on the track. Of course, it had been declared as a wet race. All of them are using wet tires. So we are expecting the time a little bit slower than they did yesterday. Yesterday they clocked 1 minute 57.6 as the fastest time by April King. So they're doing around 158, 159, but I believe it's more than 2 minutes per lap with this type of condition, track condition.
Indeed, and the heavens have opened. You can just see there that the riders are already looking absolutely sodden wet. But let's talk us through them once again. April King Mascardo on the front row of the grid alongside Ahmad Saugi Mukhtar, bike number 11, bike number 2, Ian J. Sobritodo from the Philippines.
Then we have 4th on the grid, row number 2, Punchana Kurol Chalalai. 5th on the grid, Jeppe Armansyah from Indonesia. 6th from the grid. 6th on the grid is Aaron Gudawardena.
We've got an Indonesian, 2 Indians on the third row, Noor Al Fath Sam Ahmed alongside Prabhu Anagiri and KY Ahmed on the third row. Row
number 4, 10th on the grid is Muhammad Suhilmi from Malaysia. 11th on the grid is Mario Bourbon Jr. from the Philippines. 12th on the grid is Tetsuya Fujita from Japan. Mario
Bourbon is a survivor from last year. Edward Falkhead is brand new from Australia, as is Mohammed Afiq Hillman, and Mohammed Anas Ikwan, although he didn't get a qualification time, is being allowed to start on the grid. I can tell you, the rain is absolutely bucketing down. That camera is not telling you a fib, and I would imagine these riders will be hunkering down even more than they usually do over those handlebars, because visibility on the visors will be very, very difficult.
It's going to be difficult for these riders, especially the young riders in the 1 week category here in the ARRC, using the identical bike, and they have to be careful. They have to really pace themselves in the race. But that's not a problem, because this is racing. You have to win at the same time. You have to be careful. It's going to be very slippery on the track as well. Using the wet tire, of course, more grip for them. It will help them, but they still have to go slower than the time that they did yesterday.
This part of their course we're just seeing them to come into, it's very, very intricate, and there's some sharp right-handers, not so much that one, but that little left there is surprisingly severe, and then that sharp right again. There's plenty of opportunities just to get the wrong line and slide the back end away.
This is where it's being decided because of who can tackle well that part of the track. Normally will have that advantage, and we are seeing some of the new names, and some of them are the first time they're racing here in Pasir Gudang. That will give them an extra challenge as compared to riders like ARRC Mascardo and the rest of all the 5 riders who raced here last year. And I remember Gerry Salim made a mistake of coming in.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Secondly, the instruction from his pit crew, and he was not very happy at that time. I
It
remember.
ain't over till it's over. Gerry Salim will be the first one to tell you that. Well, difficult conditions as the rain is teeming down. You already can see the visors. They're not misting up just yet, but they will be splattered on by the rain. Visibility darkening. But April King Moscato, bike number 16, keep an eye out on him. Also keep an eye out for bike number 22, Ian J. And Aaron Gunnawadina on bike number 46 on the second row. We are underway, 7 laps of the track, and it's a decent start for April King Moscato. Although with these 150cc's, it will take a while just for everybody to sort themselves out. But April King Moscato leads the way very, very gingerly around that far right-hand corner. In fact, so gingerly that he's overtaken his April King.
Yeah, 78 or 76. Chana, I think Chana Lai from Thailand, from the outside of April King Moscato.
You can see the spray coming off the bikes. They are very, very carefully manoeuvring their way down that long hill as they come into corner number 2,
Yeah,
which is a sharp left-hander.
there's 2 riders with number 76 and 78. Chepi Aman Shah from Indonesia. In fact, 76, I believe, is 76th in front there. It's not it's a Chepi Aman Shah.
I do apologise, Matt. Yes, Chepi Arman Shah it is. And as you can see, it's affecting our camera coverage as well. The weather conditions are very, very difficult for riders, spectators, and viewers at home alike. Hope you can stay with us because Chepi Arman Shah, who indeed it is correct, not Panchana. My apologies for that. Chepi is leading the way.
And with Ahmad Shaugi Mukta, another Indonesian, in second place. And number 46, Aaron Gunawardana from Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken, in third place. Using that dropped April King Moscato from behind, fourth or fifth place.
These will be almost alien conditions for the riders, plus on the track, which can be a little bit slippy because of the rain and the deposits of mud that have come onto the track over the day. But now this is indeed, as you say, Chepi Arman Shah on his debut in the Suzuki Asia Challenge, leading the way as they come to the tail end of lap number 1. The thunder is peeling around the Johor circuit, and the riders are quite understandably being very, very hesitant as they're going into the corners.
I saw Ian J as the Brito from Philippines. They are not on wet tires, they are using the dry tires today. That's why we can see them very slowly around the track, around 2 minutes 14 seconds in fact, by Chepi Arman Shah, the fastest rider on the track. Arman Shah in second place, Aaron Gunawardana, Pakistan Ahmad, fourth place right now, Mario Berman in fifth. Where is April King? He's down to 8th.
Yes, indeed. We saw a good move there from Nur Al Faf to move up into third. Little bit of confidence. They're not on wet weather tyres. Let's just confirm that one. I'm not quite sure where I got that information of being a wet weather race, but they're clearly on dry weather tyres, and that is why they're just being very, very cautious, understandably so, not leaning fully into the corners So Chepi Armancia, who is being aggressive, he's leading the way and has got himself a near 3-second lead. Where is April King?
April King is down to 8, and I think dropped a bit further behind. All of them are using identical bike, setup of the bike different from one another. And the type of this type of condition and all up to the riders and how brave the rider can go, especially in the corners. As you can see now, Chepi Armancia is quite comfortable with the bike and the condition of this type of condition on the track. But we still have a long way to go, 6 laps to go, and even though he's almost, I think, more than 3 seconds now in front of Armancia.
Mario Bourbon's got himself up to 5th place. Is Mario Bourbon in the distinctive, particularly in this light, in that helmet, so he's moved himself up to 5th. You saw as they came down over the brow of the hill, it was almost like they were merging out of a cloud, but there is Mario Bourbon Jr., who started way down in 11th. He's got himself up to 5th and he's dragged Mohammed Afik Hillman alongside with him, but there's a big gap between them there, more than 6 seconds, and there's our first incident of the day, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, there's a crash on the track.
It was actually the leader.
Yeah, that's the leader.
It was the race leader who is away. And that means that Suzuki Mukhtar can take over the new lead. And that is why they're going go cautiously, because he was in splendid isolation. Now struggling to get the bike going again.
Yeah, we can see the tire is a slick tire, and the leg, just like I said before, it's all up to them, the rider themselves. But as we can see that Chepi Armancia was very fast with this type of condition of the track. Look at Aaron Gudawardana from Sri Lanka. He's not climbed to 2nd place. This is what happened to the leader, Chepi Armancia. A little bit wide, lost his control, and well, he's out after this for a while. I think he's back on the track.
Yes, he tried to get back on the track.
Yeah.
It is just trying to control it going wide, coming up the hill. The camber didn't help him, and just lost the back end on the surround, and everybody goes past him. Nasty moment for Chepi Armancia.
We have number 90. In fact, we have number 90.
This is Mohammed Zulhilmi.
Is he leading the race right now? Yes. Zulhilmi is
no, this is the battle for P7 or 8, I think. These are the race leaders. Ahmad Hassaki Mukhtar from Indonesia alongside Nur Al Fath.
Down to number 46 from Sri Lanka. We still have 5 laps to go. Then it looks like the fastest lap by Ahmad Shauki Mukhtar, in fact, to be 13.06 seconds. Another rider is having a problem on the track.
That's K.Y. Ahmed from India. That looked more mechanical than sliding off. Now be careful, just don't run wide, because it's incredibly slippy if you come off the main track. It's slippy enough on the track, but going through first is Ahmed Shauki Mukhtar with Nur Al Fath to make it an Indonesia 1-2, and Aaron Gunawadina, Sri Lanka, up in the offing. Mario Bourbon's up to 4th, Arfik 5th, Ian J, he's recovered into 6th, and Prabhu is 7th. April King is still going backwards.
We have a rider from Sri Lanka on podium position right now, and Cam is quite far from Aaron and Mario Bourbon from the Philippines, around 4 seconds in between them, and Aaron, in fact, Aaron Gunawardena have a chance to win this race.
Another change of lead there as Nur Al Fath just goes on the outside of Ahmed Shauki, and just quite wisely trying to stay out of the spray and out of danger is Aaron Gunawadina.
This kind of condition, well, it's not easy to be behind another rider, because the spray that can affect your sight, and we have very close between these 3 riders, and now he's got Al Fath Ahmad to lead, but look out for Gunawardena from Sri Lanka.
Everybody having a look back just to see how far this front 3 are, and in splendid isolation coming out of the clouds. That is like the That's like a Wild West show, isn't it?
Yes, number 46 in front right now. We have a Sri Lankan leading the race, Aaron Gunawardena from Sri Lanka. Bike number 46 is now in P1.
Bike number 46, Aaron Gunawardena. Listen to this, Sri Lanka. You've got a man who's leading this Suzuki Asia Challenge and looking confident, as you can see, hunkered down, nice position. Can he control going into that right-hander? Again, it's still very ginger because this rain is not relenting at all. Stay off the sidelines. It's danger if you go on the sidelines. Gunawardena takes the Nur Al-Fath with him and will be leading beyond the halfway mark as they come at the end of lap number 4. It is Sri Lanka leading the way.
That is Sri Lanka leading the Indonesia. Remember last year that the Indonesian rider was very strong in this category, Gerry Salim and his friends. Now we have a new batch of riders from Indonesia. There is no Alfas Sam Ahmad, who just passed Aaron Gunawardena to regain his first place, his lead in front of Aaron and also Ahmad Shawki Bukta.
The weather conditions taking their toll on our cameras as well. That's a lovely long shot down the main straight as stepping out of the slipstream into the lead is Ahmed Saki. All three side by side once again. It's Ahmed Saki who leads from Nur Al-Fath, and Gunawardena, who was in the lead at the start of this lap, is now relegated down to third. Mario Bourbon is making up an awful lot of ground, and if we wait just a second, you'll see Mario Bourbon is now in the picture, and so 3 suddenly becomes 4.
Yes, Mario Bourbon now catching up. He started 11th on the grid, in fact, but with his experience of racing here in this series last year, that gave him an extra advantage, and now he is catching up with Aaron Gunawardena down to third right now. Bike number 29, Mario Bourbon from the Philippines.
That's one of my favourite shots in motor racing, that coming down over the brow of the hill, just at the back end, turn 5, over the brow of the hill, and they head down into the long right turn 6, a quick left turn 7, then another right turn 8. But it's Indonesia 1-2. Ahmed Saki Mukhtar leading the way. Mario Bourbon is pressing though to join those front 3, and Aaron Gunawardena has got a little bit closer to the front 2 once again.
Yeah, I think Mario Bourbon is already catching up. He's now in the front group. Yes, with one Sri Lankan and 2 Indonesian riders. So these races are going good for them to win this race.
But in these conditions, Harmy, let's not predict anything. Already out, Anas Ikhwan never got a start. Chepi Armancia was unable to restart after he crashed out. KY Ahmed is out of the race, so that leaves 12 still racing. Mario Bourbon goes around the outside and takes the lead.
And it's difficult to predict this type of weather and the track condition. And we have a new leader, Mario Bourbon Jr. from the Philippines, in front of Ahmad Shawki Mukhtar right now. In fact, at the time, down to 2 minutes 10 seconds by Mario Bourbon. Before this, they're doing around 2 minutes 12, 2 minutes 11, but Mario Bourbon just did 2 minutes 10.029 seconds.
Yeah, he's managed to make up 5 seconds in the last 3 laps. He was that far down. Clearly adjusting to the wet weather conditions, but you can be too bold when the surface is as slippery as it clearly is. You can see the water running off and the spray. Very difficult conditions.
Aaron Gunawardena still fighting, and he's not giving up just yet, because he's now currently pushing behind Nur Al-Fath Sam Ahmad, trying to clear the second place, while Mario Bourbon looking comfortable in front there, setting his fastest lap previously with 1.5 laps to go. He's leading the race.
He's timed this perfectly, actually, as Mario Bourbon, as he loses the lead, as we say that, Nur Al-Fath. But Mario Bourbon has shown that he's got the ability to make up ground on these first 3. Further down, I can tell you, April King is in 9th, Mohammed Zulhilmi 10th. Australia's Edward Falkhead has got himself up to 8th. But let's focus on this front 4, because 3 from these 4, barring an accident, will make the podium.
Yes, we saw how Bourbon Jr. from the Philippines clocking around 2 minute 10 seconds for him to catch up with him. Right now, I think he's in his place bike number 39 and bike number 46.
Here we come, 1 lap to go. The rain beginning to slightly relent, and it's going to be interesting. Gunawaddin has got himself up to second behind Mario Bourbon. The gap is 0.41. Nur Al Fath and Suzuki are very, very close behind. Ian J has made up 2.5 seconds on that last lap. Let's not count out Ian J Sobretodo from this reckoning.
Yes, I was looking at bike number 46. He tried to be in front of Bourbon, but he's now losing out to the two Indonesian, but he's again making his move to go into second place, and this is the last lap, few more corners to go.
And Ian J Sobretodo is making ground with every corner, but it's at the moment Mario Bourbon leading the way from Gunawaddin, Philippines from Sri Lanka, from 2 in Indonesia, and Ian J is joining the party. Is he just a little bit too late to join the party? As he comes round the corner in 5th place, let's look at Mario Bourbon Jr. takes that sharp right-hand corner. We've still got the intricate part of this circuit still to come, and the long hill upwards.
Well, the 46 is back in second place. In fact, Aaron Gunawaddin in second place, and at these top 4, all of them have a fair chance to win the race. Ian J Sobretodo is a little bit down with few more corners to go.
The aliens have landed as Mario Bourbon comes over the hill, but he's under pressure as Gunawaddin is taken by Nur Al Fath. Nur Al Fath from Indonesia is second. Gunawaddin, there's a collision there with Suzuki, and it's affected Gunawaddin more than it has Suzuki Mukhtar.
Yes, so he a little bit touched with Aaron Gunawaddin, but Mario Bourbon now leading with the 2 Indonesian. Bike number 29 is still in front. I think the last corner we'll see who will win the race.
Gunawaddin looks on the inside, but just holding on is Mario Bourbon. Mario Bourbon in the bright yellow helmet is leading the way as they come up the hill, but this is anybody's race. Carefully round the last corner, Mario Bourbon holds his line very well, and Mario Bourbon Jr. is going to win this for the Philippines. It's Bourbon from Suzuki, from Al Fath, from Gunawaddin, and Ian J comes in less than 2 seconds adrift in 5th. Great fun in the rain.
I must say, a great race by Mario Bourbon Jr. He started the race down 11th on the grid. In fact, we are looking at April King before this as the pole sitter, but Mario Bourbon, the one who won the race. Samad Shauki, Mukhtar, and Nur Al Fateh, Sam Ahmad from Indonesia completed the podium for the Suzuki.
Very, very difficult conditions. We always say rain spoils races. It doesn't. Rain makes races, doesn't it? Particularly when the riders are able to cope with that. Commiserations to Gerry Salim, who had a convincing lead when he just slid off early on with just 2 laps gone. But he was looking good. He'd been very aggressive, but you can be overly aggressive in the rain, Army.
Yes, I must say a pity for Aaron Gunawaddin. He was looking good to be on the podium. In fact, at one time he was looking good to win the race, but he's lost a place. Down to 4th for Aaron Gunawaddin, and Ian J, even though he tried very fast, his best, he tried very hard at the very last part of the race, the last lap, but he's down to 1.9 seconds in 5th place. A good race for Ahmad Afrika Ilman, though. He started the race way back, 14 on the grid, finishing in 6th place. That's a good result for him. And also Edward Pocket from Australia to finish at 7th.
Yep, you'll pick up points, 25 for the win, 20 for second, 16 for third, 13 points for Aaron Gunawaddin, 11 for Ian J, 10 for Arfik Hillman, who, as you said, starting in 14th. That's a nice little bonus to take home into race number 2 tomorrow. That's my favourite shot, as it really does look like they are coming out of the clouds.
Yes, it's, in fact, according to all the riders, it's the most difficult part on the track, where you have to go fast down and then suddenly turn right, a left, and another right. And you have to really know how to control the bike and maybe the brake well for you to have the speed, this part of the track.
Peals of thunder roll around Pasir Gudang, rolling across all of Johor. just in time. The weather stayed good for us. Tomorrow our racing begins a little bit early. 11:30 is the Suzuki Asia Challenge race number 2, and then 1 o'clock we've got the Underbone 150. Then we move on to the AP 250 and the Supersport 600cc. We'll show you highlights and we'll get interviews under an umbrella, I hope, and we'll also have the podium places, but confirmation of the race. 15 minutes 34.432 seconds for Mario Bourbon Jr. ahead of Sage Mukhtar and Alfat Sam Ahmad. Aaron Gunawadina, best result ever for Aaron from Sri Lanka. Ian J from the Philippines. Afik, as you say, for Malaysia. A good 6th for Australia. Edward Falkhead in 7th. Prabhu April King started on pole, finished 9th. Mohammad Zulhilmi in 10th.
Nice.
Fujita, yes. KY Ahmad, and no finish for Chepi, and a did not finish for Anasekwan.
Yes, it's good to see how Mario Bourbon using his experience, being in his second year in the series, to win the race. But Ahmad Shaugi Mukhtar and Nur Alfat Sam Ahmad, and then together with JP Armansha, they are the new batch of Indonesian riders, but at the same capability and at the same what the Indonesian showed last year with Jeffrey Tosima and his friends. So that's the new riders that we are looking at this season as well. But what really happened to April King Mascardo, because he was setting the fastest time yesterday during qualifying and during practice session. Also, April King Mascardo did quite a good timing as well, but he lost out in the race.
Almost alien conditions though for April King to give him some excuse. You can just see the weather, how torrential the rainfall is. People scurrying to get out of the way.
Yeah, we are waiting for the podium and to get some interviews from the winners. The 3 riders on the podium. 1 rider from the Philippines, 2 riders from Indonesia. And we have almost had 1 Sri Lankan rider on the podium as well.
There's 10 races in this season. The guys will miss the Suzuki Asia Challenge, will miss the trip to India, the Bird International Circuit. But they will be going on to Buriram in a couple of weeks. Obviously, we've got Johor tomorrow for race number 2, then on to Buriram in a couple of weeks. Suzuka in Japan. Sentul in Indonesia, and we finish in Buriram once again at the start of December. But firstly, let's enjoy the moment for Mario Bourbon Jr. and the Filipino national anthem.
We will now stand for the national anthem of the Philippines. Okay, so sorry for that audio problem. Definitely not the national anthem of the Philippines.
Very proud moment for Mario Bourbon Jr. We were expecting the Philippines to win this one, but we weren't expecting it to be Mario Bourbon, because he started 11th on the grid. April King had been on pole, But Mario Bourbon takes first place. Indonesia second and third. Prizes handed out by Yuko Kageyama, the general manager of the Suzuki Asia Challenge. And we saw there how wet can absolutely change how a race can be raced.
Yes, it's all up to the riders, in fact, and how they manage to control the bike. How they, especially going through the corners. We saw what JP Arman Shah did, trying to run away from all the riders, but it was a mistake in the corners, because sometimes it's going to be difficult to control if you go too fast coming in the corners, then you can go out on the track. So it's quite difficult. It's all up to the race management itself by the riders, which this three did very well in the race.
They certainly did, as well as Aaron Gunawardena. We've got to mention him because it was a four-man race for just the three podium places. The conditions making it for very difficult.